Howdy gang, a new video on a little bit more about what I'm doing in my hashtag tip Troubles in Paradise, the Methodology of Creationism project, what it's all about, and hopefully more of an impetus as to why it might be worthy of your support. For those of us who follow me on Twitter, you see me jousting with anti-evolutionists, creationists, intelligent designers. I document source material that confutes their claims. I do a lot of things. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What the TIP project began as was an analysis of the methodology of anti-evolutionism, creationism, the mindset, their reliance on secondary sources, their sloppy scholarship. All of this was giving clues to the methods of thought and the methods of scholarship they were using. Once I entered the new realm of modern computers with much better spreadsheets and much more spectacular internet access, so I had a lot more sources available, I realized I had now the tools to do something in addition to the point-by-point refutation of anti-evolutionism. Now, the first one off the mark on this was tip 1.3 on punctuated equilibrium, which is, I'll give a link to that at the tip website, which was covering all examples of anti-evolutionists shooting their mouth off on punctuated equilibrium. And I can state categorically that anti-evolutionists don't discuss PE even when they bring it up themselves. I don't have to guess at this. I've just cataloged everybody. Thank you very much. The next stage in this was a for sale book, Evolution Slam Dunk, which is on the reptile-mammal transition. And like tip 1.3, I cover the technical literature and all examples of anti-evolutionists shooting their mouth off on it. That's the tip of the iceberg of the method. Because in the course of assembling this data stream of incoming technical literature and the material from the Discovery Institute and Answers in Genesis and others that are making claims about primary source science data, I'm building up a data set that, as far as I know, nobody else has ever done. No group, no organization, no author, from Richard Dawkins, the National Center for Science Education, has actually approached this problem from a comprehensive documentation of what the source material is and how it connects up to the bigger science data, and therefore you can see the landscape and you can see why the anti-evolutionists have their head up their ass. At the moment, in my hashtag tip work, I've documented about 3,000 primary source science citations across the board. That's including cosmology stuff, radiometric dating, biology material, geology, paleontology. That's out of a data stream of, at the moment, about 21,000 technical papers in my hashtag tip dataset. That means that about 15% is getting directly cited, but a lot of that is secondary, a lot of that is older material, outdated material, it's for authority quotes. So when you whittle that down and you assume that I'm not in a complete position knowing every technical paper, it's a rough heuristic to say that anti-evolutionists are bumping into only about 10% of the data stream. And hashtag tip project that I'm doing is to actually nailing all of that down source by source by source by source. Those of you who follow me, those of you who read Evolution Slam Dunk, those who have looked at the hashtag tip website, can see that this process is upping the game, I hope. It's establishing just exactly not only that the anti-evolutionist is wrong, but you can see that they're getting wrong way before they get to the level of philosophy, of methodological naturalism. This is at the very core level of, can't you pay attention to the data? The data exists whether you like it or not. So I'll put some links up to the GoFundMe and the Patreon that hopefully more people can help and look at my material. And if you put a thumbs up for my work, please, if you can throw some weight my way in donations, and or just tell people that you know. Everybody knows everybody who knows everybody who knows everybody in the modern world. This is the land of Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of separation. So the more people who connect, the more people who talk about hashtag tip, they realize that there's a new way of approaching this problem from a deep source methods direction. It works. It disconnects people. You ask somebody, what sources do you have and how did you fact check them? Pseudoscientists cannot play this game. They won't pretend to read sources they haven't, and they won't pretend to have fact checked sources they haven't. They just shut down. It's the deer in the headlight moment of a Tortugan mindset. So that's a little bit of an bit on what I'm doing in hashtag tip. It's a lonely job here. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without your readership, usage, commentary, questions, feedback, all of that stuff. Ooh, it's a village. So there I'm at on this very hot day in Spokane, Washington. And thank you very much for listening to another video from the old RJ.